Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to my channel. Today I'm so excited because I am filming a tag video and I think it's an original tag. So I don't know if you guys are in the book community, but there is a tag challenge called Do I Have That Book? And I wanted to make a manga version. I don't think there's a manga version out there. I have searched for it and I haven't seen it. This is kind of different. I kind of want it to be like different like categories. You don't have to like race to find stuff, but this is just like a good way to recommend the manga that's on your shelves to other people. So for the original book, Do I Have That Book challenge, I will leave the creator and information for that down below. Okay, so I have my laptop here. Look at this chaos. Okay, so also like sorry the lighting is like shit right now because we're losing light. So, and I'm in the mood to film, so we're just gonna do it. Okay, so the first category that I have is Shoujo Manga, and I am going to talk about this series that I love, and it's what got me started into like loving manga a couple years back, and that would be Hatsuharu. This is volume 1, and this is by Shizuki Fujisawa, and this follows our main character Kai. This is him. He is a playboy, and he ends up falling for a tomboy. She likes to beat him up too, and it's amazing. Like, I love both of our main characters. I love all the friends. I love the friend groups. It's amazing. I recommend this series so much. Okay, the next thing is Josei Manga. I have 2 things to talk about, and I tried to only pick one thing for each category, but some I picked 2. So the first thing I want to talk about is Perfect World. This is volume 1. This is by Ryaruga. So this follows our main character. Her name is Tsumi, and she works for a design company, and she is at a dinner and they are working with an architecture firm, and then she sees our male lead. His name is Itsuki, and come to find out he is in a wheelchair because he had a spinal cord injury, and he was her high school crush. So she becomes friends with him, and she is ableist, so this is told from an ableist point of view, but it gets past that and it's dealing with his spinal cord injury, what he has to deal with, them seeing like, can we work in a relationship? I love it. I've given the first 2 volumes that I own physically 5 stars. I'm currently reading the 3rd one on Kindle. I believe the physical version of it is out now. I love this series, y'all. I love it so much. Yes. Okay, and the next thing, y'all, this is Wotakoi. Yes, and this is by Fujita. And now, I've been waiting for volume 4 forever, and it finally came out. So this follows our main character, Narumi Momose. This is her, and she is a closet otaku, and every single guy she's dated, they left her because of it. And then we have Hirotaka, who I love. He's like one of my crushes. Yes. He is also an otaku, but he does not hide that shit. And then he's like, if you have problems with it and don't want to hide it, like, I know you're one, like, let's just date. So they start to date, and it's great. I love them so much. Oh, I love this series. It's so good. Okay, the next category I have to talk about is shonen, and I didn't think I had some shonen titles, but I do. And this would be Spy Family, and this is by Tatsuya Endo. I cannot personally recommend this because I haven't read it yet, but I do own the first 2 volumes. Man, the premise of this is just like amazing. So we follow our main character, and he is a spy, and then he's with an assassin, and the child, and there was a telepath, and they're all like, he's married, has a kid, and it's like one of his assignments. That I did not do a good job explaining that, y'all, but it just sounds so good, and I'm sure you've heard about it. And I love this color, like, too. Yes, we love a good cover. Okay, the next thing I do not have, and that would be a Seinen Manga. So I'm asking you, viewers, friends, family, if you have any Seinen recs that you think I would like, leave them down below. And since I don't have anything to talk about, let's move on. So we're gonna talk about yaoi. I love yaoi. And of course, if anyone knows me, I'm gonna talk about Yarichin Bitch Club, y'all. This is by Ogaratsu Tanaka. I love this. It is weird and it is not everyone's cup of tea. I will just say that right now. I know there are people that do not like this and it is not for everyone, but man is it for me. I love it so much. So this follows our main character. His name is Takashi Tono. So Tono he transferred into an all-boys school up in the mountain and comes to find out they have to join a club their first year and be in it the whole year. So he's like, I'm not really good at sports ball, so photography, that sounds easy. Bitch, what photography? That club, they do sexual favors for the student body. And I'm just like, yes, it's a wild time, mature, definitely do not read if you're not over 18, you know what I'm saying? But I love it so much. I need to reread the first 3 volumes. Volume 4 got announced in Japan, so we probably won't get it for a while, but like I need it right now. Next thing we're talking about is, we gotta talk about some Yuri. This is Citrus, Volume 1, and this is by Sabaruta. So I have a really fun story. I saw Citrus Plus, which is the companion series that it takes place after Citrus on Right Stuff, and I was like, well, this looks cute, and then I got it and I read it, and then come to find out the Citrus comes before, because I didn't know this existed, so that's a thing. So this follows our main character, Aihara. This is her, and her mom gets remarried and she gets to go to a new all-girls school. So the stepdad's dad is like the headmaster, and the daughter of the stepdad, she is like class president, and they end up falling for each other. Yes, I really, really enjoy this. I love Citrus. The next thing we're going to talk about is, we're getting into genres now. So that was all age categories and BLGL. So now we're going on to genres, and the first thing is horror manga, and the only volume of horror manga I have is The Flowers of Evil, Volume 1. I think this is a bind-up, maybe. This is by Shuzo Oshimi. This is weird. I don't even know how to explain it. I've read like the first volume in it, like this much. This is like the first volume. It's weird. I don't know if I could recommend it. Yeah, it says volumes 1 through 3, so I read the first volume in here. It's just weird. So it's about this guy, and there's like these 2 girls. One is like really strange. This is her. And then we have this like beauty of the class. Like he has a crush on her. Her gym clothes get left in the room, and then he takes them, and then she knows about it. And she is being all weird and like making him do stuff. And it's just like, man, I don't know. I'm not recommending this, but I'm just proving that I have a horror manga, and this is it. The next genre would be paranormal, and we got Devil's Line. You can really see it. This is Anzai. He's beautiful. We love him. I have a crush. Okay. And this is by Ryo Hanada. This follows our main character, is it Tsukasa? I don't know how to say it. I'm so bad, like I said. Okay, it's spelled Tsukasa. She's a college student walking home one day with a classmate who has a crush on her. And then our boy Anzai pulls up. He's like, yo, are you gonna kill her the same way you killed all the other women? You're a vampire. And he's like, no, I like her. I wasn't gonna do that. His name is Akimura, by the way. So Akimura gets taken to jail, vampire prison, and vampires in this world are called devils, by the way. Then they just, Anzai and then our main female character just like are really drawn to each other and really like each other. I love this first volume. I'm doing a reread for Manga 3-Kathon. I really like it. Okay, well, the next thing is action manga, and I don't have any. So if you know like action manga that I would like, again, I'm asking you, friends, family, viewers, to leave recommendations below. Okay, let's move on to sports manga. This is also a shoujo, I believe, and it is Waiting for Spring by Onshin. I effing love Waiting for Spring. I read the first 2 volumes during Bonds of Manga Love. I loved it so much, so I ordered the other 10 that are out. It's fine. Is it 10? Yeah, it's 10. 3 through 13, that's 10. Right? I don't know. Math. Anyways, I really loved it. So this follows our main character, Mitsuki, and she is going to high school. She does really not know anyone there, and she doesn't really have any friends. Works at a really small, lousy cafe, and one day the basketball team comes, and the way that they meet is not like the best, but then she ends up becoming friends with them. Also, basketball team, if you're on it, can't date anyone. So, scandal, intrigue. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Also, you see this man, Kyosuke? He's my boy. He's my favorite character. I'm not going to say I have a crush on him because that's like cougar. So, the next thing I want to talk about is slice of life, and I have two things to talk about. First, drumroll please, we all know what she's about to say, and that is Komi Can't Communicate by Tomohiro Oda. So this follows our main character, my girl Komi, and she has a communication disorder, so she has a really hard time talking to people. One day she's in a classroom alone with Tomato, and they strike up a conversation writing on the chalkboard, talking, and he says, girl, I will help you make 100 friends. So they're doing just that. Volume 9 just came out recently. We're getting somewhere. We're getting a little bit like a romance. Like, feelings are being felt, but like, do we understand that we're feeling them? I don't know. It's great. I love this series so much. It always makes me so happy. I love it. Okay. The next thing is also, like Yuri-chan, is not for everyone. Because honestly, our main character, she's annoying AF, but she cracks me up. And this is Uzuki-chan Wants to Hang Out. The first 3 volumes are out. Volume 4 comes out in December. So this is by Take, and this follows our main character. Man, I always forget his name. Oh, Sakurai Shinshi. They're in college, and they knew each other in high school, him and Yuzuki, and they like, she was like a swim club manager. He was on the swim team, and then she sees him in college, and she's just like, what's she doing all by herself? And then a year goes by. Now he's a junior, she's a sophomore, and she's like, why is this loser just hanging out by himself? And she always wants to hang out with him and like push him out of his shell, and she can be so annoying about it. But I love it, man. I just have a good time. I don't take it seriously. It's great. Something's gonna happen between those two. I do not recommend the anime though, because I don't like the dubbing, because she always calls him senpai, 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 and they just use his first name, and it's just like, I don't like the way that they dubbed it. It just makes me mad. So we're gonna move past that. The next thing is smutty. Let's get into some smut, you know what I'm saying? Okay, the first thing I'd like to talk about, it's like light smut. And that would be Sweat and Soap by Kentetsu Yamada. I love this series so much. So it follows our main character, Asako, and our girl has had body odor her whole damn life. And now she works in the finance department for this soap company called Lily Drop, and it makes her feel confident. You know, it masks that odor. She loves it. So one day she's in the lobby, she's looking at the new spring line of soaps, and our boy Kitaro is like coming in. He's like, man, what is that delicious smell? He loves it. You know what, y'all? That smell is her. And he's like, yo, can I come sniff you every day this week for inspiration? And she's like, that's weird, but okay, sure, why not? Anything to help my favorite soap company. And then they become friends, and then more than friends. I love the relationship. They're so cute. He is like the best boy ever. He is like the man of like everyone's dreams place. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is Fire in His Fingertips, and this is by Wano Tanishi. Yo, this is about our main character, and she is friends with this fireman, and he is a playboy, right? And one day her apartment's like on fire, and he like saves her, and he's like, why weren't you making noise? That's what I told you to do. If you're in a fire, you always make noise. And the noise stops, and I thought you were hurt or something. He freaked out. So then she stays at his place. Sparks, they be flying, man. Oh my god, I'm so excited about Volume 2. I don't know when it's coming out, but I need it. The next thing is set in college, and this one is also smutty as hell, and that would be Escape Journey. This is by Ogaratsu Tanaka. So we have our two main characters, Blondie and Taichi, and in high school they were lovers. They started out friends, became lovers, and they had a huge fight falling out, so then they hated each other. So they end up going to the same college, in the same like track, the same program, and they're in the same friend group, so they have to be around each other, and they become friends. And guess what, are we lovers again? Probably, because look at that, they holding hands. This is very smutty, so like 18 and over, please. Okay, the next thing we got is one shot, and that is just like it's completed in one volume. And I have to recommend 7 Days, Monday through Sunday by Venio Tachibana. So this follows our main character, Yuzuru, and he is a junior. And then we have our freshman main character. His name is Sirio. So every single Monday, there is a girl that asks Sirio out, and he says yes. They broke up at the end of the week. So one day, Yuzuru was kind of joking around on Monday with him and was like, why don't we just date? And like, Shiro's like, yes, let's do it. So it's just their whole week of dating. Like, are we going to be together at the end of the week? Are we going to break up? What's going on? I love it. I ship them together. It's amazing. Okay, and the next thing I want to talk about is a bind up, which is more than one volume in a volume. So I want to talk about Fruits Basket. This is the collector's edition, so it has 2 volumes in one, and I believe every other like volume of collector's edition, there's 12 of them in total, are all bind ups, except maybe the last one. I'm not really for sure. I love this series. I don't know how to describe it, but everyone loves Fruits Basket. So I'm gonna read this to you. After a family tragedy turns her life upside down, plucky high schooler Toru Honda takes matters into her own hands and moves out into a tent. So she's just there by herself in a tent because like her uncle's like, oh, housework, I'm gonna go stay with like other family. Have fun. And then so she's out there, and then the mysterious Soma clan finds her and they're like, just stay with us, because one of the guy in the clan, he is one of her high school classmates. And then come to find out, every single member of the Soma family is one of the animals in the Chinese zodiac. Okay, so also if one of them touches a member of the opposite sex, like embraces them, they turn into the animal. I'm into it. I like this. It's so cute. I love our main character because like the way she explains stuff is done in like a very interesting way, but it also makes so much sense. And she's so sweet. I want nothing bad to happen to her. I love her a lot. As you can see, I tabbed this up. I really, really loved it, man. I just loved it a lot. Okay, the next thing I would like to talk about is a series that I have completed on my shelves, and that series would be Aoharu Ride by Ayosaki Saka. The last volume just came out recently. There are 13 volumes in this series complete. I own them all. So this follows our main character, Futaba, and she thinks all boys are gross and obnoxious. And then she meets Kyo, and they met in junior high. They like each other. He ends up moving away, and yeah, family issues. I'm just trying to remember. I read this like the first 2 volumes a while back. So now they're in high school. He reappears, and do they still like each other even though they're not the same people? Like they've grown a lot as a person, and it's just like, do they still like each other even though they've changed a lot? I really like Ayosaki Saka. I definitely recommend this series. And then I thought it would be fun to talk about a series that I have on my shelves that I have several volumes of that, you know, I haven't read any of them yet, but I have seen the anime for this one. So my recommendation would be Snow White and the Red Hair. I love the anime. It's so good. So this is the manga version, of course. So this follows our main character, Shira Yuki. She has bright red hair, and there's a prince and he wants her all to himself, and she escapes. And that's all I'm going to say. The second to last question I have is, do you have a volume of manga that is not published by Kodansha or Viz? Because they're like the 2 main publishers in the US and like English publishing wise. So I thought that would be a fun question to ask. And I'm gonna recommend a Square Enix manga. I have fallen in love with this series. There's only 2 volumes out, but it is becoming my favorite yaoi, and that is Cherry Magic by Yu Toyota. This is volume 1. So this follows our main character, Adichie. He turned 30 as a virgin, and since that happened, he has magical powers now. So if he brushes up against someone or touches someone, he could hear their thoughts. So one day he touches our other main character, Kurosawa, and he finds out that Kurosawa has the biggest crush on him, and it just goes from there. I absolutely love this series. Volume 3, I'm so upset it doesn't come out until March 2021. I don't know how I'm gonna wait that long, but I guess I'm gonna have to. And the last question is, do you have a volume of manga series debut that released this year? So this year is 2020, and I have a volume of manga that released this year. It's the first volume like the prompt says, and that is Weathering with You Volume 1, and this is by Makoto Shinkai. I loved this. This follows our main character Hodaka, and he runs away to Tokyo because he's tired of the small island he lives on. He's homeless. He doesn't really have a place to go. He's at McDonald's one day. Our girl Hina comes up. She gives him a burger for free, and then he meets her again. He wants to say thank you, and he finds out she's a sunshine girl. So in Tokyo during this time period, there's just rain, like rain, 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 and she could bring forth the sunshine. So they kind of like use that to like make money. But I love this. Volume 2 is gonna break just because of like the events that happen at the very end of this volume. I did love that. I do recommend this. Volume 2 doesn't come out until January. Okay, so that's all the questions. That's all the prompts. I'll leave them listed down below. I'm gonna go ahead and tag people. So I tag Bizarre, a Bizarre Individual, and Dylan from Dynamic Dylan. I'm gonna tag you both. Hello. And that's all I have to say. If you liked this video, give me a like. If you have any recommendations for me, leave them down below. And if you want to see more of me and my crazy ass self, and if you liked me, subscribe to my channel, y'all. What you doing? Okay, so that's all I have to say. That's the end of the video. I'll see you in another one.